InFab issues press release regarding incident at Good Hope premises. HGP Nightly News reports InFab has expressed its deepest condolences to the family, friends, and colleagues of Mr. Kevin Brown, who tragically lost his life on Sunday, November 9, 2025. The company is deeply saddened by this unfortunate incident and extends heartfelt sympathies to all affected. InFab would like to clarify that it had contracted Royal Global Guyana Incorporated, located at 230 Section B Pattinson, Turkian, Georgetown, to construct a worker living area at the rear of its Good Hope premises. The work being carried out at the time of the incident was under the full supervision and responsibility of Royal Global Guyana Inc. It is important to note that Mr. Brown was not an employee of InFab, and his presence on the roof was unknown to InFab personnel. Royal Global Guyana Incorporated has acknowledged its contractual responsibility for the ongoing project and is cooperating fully with the relevant authorities in addressing this matter. InFab remains committed to maintaining the highest standards of safety and transparency in all operations and will continue to support the ongoing investigation in any required capacity. The company's thoughts remain with Mr. Brown's family during this difficult time. Bartica man fined for multiple driving offenses. On Monday, November 10, 2025, Dennis Lesbuer, a 36-year-old resident of Lot 22, 6th Avenue, Bartica, appeared before Magistrate Tariq Mohammed in the Bartica Magistrate Court to face several charges. Lesbuer pleaded guilty to the following offenses. Driving a motor vehicle while under the influence of alcohol. He was fined $200,000 or sentenced to 3 months imprisonment. Driving an uncertified motor vehicle. He received a fine of $5,000 or 2 weeks imprisonment. Breach of insurance. For this charge, he was fined $25,000 or given a 2-week imprisonment sentence. Unlicensed driver. He was fined $40,000 or sentenced to 2 weeks imprisonment. The court has taken a firm stance on these violations, emphasizing road safety and compliance with traffic laws. Duo charged with possession of firearm and ammunition. A 33-year-old businessman, Ron Williams of Lot 171 Queenstown, Essequibo Coast, and Joanlis Aurora Perez Palma have been charged with unlawful possession of a firearm and ammunition without a license. They were arrested on November 9, 2025. The duo appeared at the Bartica Magistrates Court before His Worship Mr. T. Mohammed, where the charges were read. Both pleaded not guilty and were granted bail set at $80,000 for each charge, totaling $160,000 each. In addition, they were instructed to report to the Idabali police checkpoint on the first Friday of every month. The case has been adjourned until December 12, 2025. Duo charged with possession of narcotics for trafficking. A duo appeared at the Bartica Magistrates Court before His Worship T. Mohammed, facing charges of possession of narcotics for the purpose of trafficking. They were charged with 3 counts of the offense. The accused, Quincy Austin, a 38-year-old gold miner, and Amidas Josides Matty Perez, a 27-year-old cook, both from the West Waduka Hilltop squatting area in Linden, pleaded not guilty to all counts. Bail was set at $50,000 each for the first 2 counts and $10,000 for the third count, totaling $110,000 each. The duo was arrested on November 9, 2025, by officers at the Idabali police checkpoint. They have been instructed to report to the Idabali checkpoint on the first of every month. The case has been adjourned until January 5, 2025. Update: Port Kaituma teen drowns while swimming. Police in Port Kaituma, Region 1, have launched an investigation following the drowning of 16-year-old Vernil Fredericks on Sunday. The incident occurred at Canal Bank around 14:20 HRS. According to police reports, Fredericks was swimming in the middle of the river when he began screaming for help. Witnesses reported seeing him go under the water without resurfacing. Following a report to the Port Kaituma police station, officers and local residents initiated a search for Fredericks. After his body was recovered, CPR was administered, but the efforts were unsuccessful. Fredericks was subsequently transported to Port Kaituma Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. His body is currently at the Port Kaituma mortuary, awaiting a post-mortem examination. Investigations into the incident are ongoing. Investigation underway following fatal stabbing in Vismar. Authorities have launched an investigation into the tragic stabbing death of 30-year-old Kevin Alexander, a carpenter from Block 22, following a domestic dispute at his home on Monday night. The incident reportedly took place around 9:45 p.m. after an argument erupted between Alexander and his 28-year-old girlfriend, a housewife living at the same residence. During the altercation, the woman allegedly stabbed Alexander once in the left side of his abdomen. Relatives and concerned residents quickly transported the injured man to the Linden Hospital complex, where he was pronounced dead upon arrival by medical personnel. Police responded promptly to the scene, arresting the suspect, who is currently in custody as investigators work to gather evidence and witness statements regarding the incident. Alexander's body has been transferred to Jetsko Funeral Parlor, where it awaits a post-mortem examination. The police have confirmed that investigations into this tragic case are ongoing. Minister Kwame McCoy criticizes Mohammed family's disinformation campaign. Honorable Kwame McCoy, minister within the office of the Prime Minister, has condemned the Mohammed family for what he describes as a blatant disinformation campaign aimed at mitigating their legal troubles. Speaking out against their efforts, McCoy stated that the Mohammeds are using a well-funded machinery of lies to escape the consequences of their alleged criminal activities. The blatant disinformation peddled by the Mohammeds' attempts to cool the hot water they have found themselves in, McCoy said, emphasizing that such actions are angering to anyone with a basic understanding of extradition processes. He clarified that extradition law is built on relationships between nations, based on comity, mutuality, and reciprocity. Guyana, as a contracting party to an extradition treaty, accepts authenticated documents from foreign countries, such as those from the U.S. that led to the criminal indictment of Azruddin and Nazar Mohammed by a grand jury. McCoy stressed that the local extradition process does not require a conventional trial with witnesses and evidence, as the procedure stemming from the grand jury's indictment is considered proper under legal principles and obligations. He also noted that the state receiving the extradition request bears the cost of convening a legal team for the proceedings, a standard practice that has been in place for over a century. McCoy urged Guyanese citizens not to be misled by what he referred to as the crookish meanderings associated with Team Mohammed's legacy. Update: 2 Venezuelans and a Colombian wanted by CANU after cocaine bust. The Customs Anti-Narcotic Unit, CANU, has issued wanted bulletins for 3 foreign nationals linked to a significant drug bust at Purica, East Bank Essequibo, EBE. The individuals wanted are Venezuelans Richard Daniel Rodriguez Criollo and Hernan Dario Martinez Cannon, along with Colombian Camilo Morales Gonzalez, who resides on Hadfield Street, Wortmanville, Georgetown. According to CANU, the operation took place on Friday, November 7th, at a residence in Hydrony, Purica. During the search, officers discovered several parcels containing a whitish powdery substance suspected to be cocaine. 3 suspects were arrested at the scene and taken to CANU's headquarters, along with the narcotics, which tested positive for cocaine weighing 23.958 kilograms. Anyone with information regarding the whereabouts of the wanted individuals is urged to contact CANU at 226-0431. Ministry of Local Government launches Cleaner Market Initiative at Stabroek Market. In a bid to enhance cleanliness and comfort for vendors, Minister of Local Government Priya Manikchand officially launched the Cleaner Market Initiative on Monday evening. This initiative began with the placement of garbage bins around the Stabroek Market Square. The installation covers a significant area, stretching from Brickdam at the head of Avenue of the Republic down to Stabroek Stelling, along Lombard Street, and extending along Water Street from Stabroek Market to America Street, as well as adjacent to the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security. During her engagement with vendors, Minister Manikchand emphasized the importance of proper waste disposal. She stated that the garbage bins aim to provide convenient disposal points, thereby reducing littering and ensuring that waste is contained. We are going to work with each other to change the bad habits of littering. If we don't, enforcement will follow, which has consequences, including fines. I'd rather avoid that for all of us, the minister implored. Ms. Manikchand underscored the necessity of cultivating a new culture around the market square, highlighting that proper waste disposal should be taken seriously. She assured vendors of full cooperation, stating, "We will empty the bins twice a day, from 3 to 6 a.m. and 1 to 3 p.m., so there's no reason to work in filth anymore." The minister expressed her hope that the Stabroek Market Initiative would serve as a model for other markets across the country. She noted, "This square will show the rest of the country how it can be done. Change starts here at Stabroek, and President Ali has exciting plans for this market, which will become a vibrant waterfront municipal space that encourages investment and shopping." The initiative is part of a broader Clean and Green Guyana campaign aimed at promoting environmental sustainability and improving community spaces. Guyana government to cover legal fees for extradition case of Nazar and Azruddin Mohammed. News source Guyana reports, a document released by the Mohammeds on their Team Mohammed social media page reveals that the government of Guyana will cover a $62,500 legal bill for Jamaican attorneys representing the U.S. government in the extradition case against businessmen Nazar Mohammed and Azruddin Mohammed. Attorney General Anil Nandlal confirmed that it is standard practice for the state receiving an extradition request to pay for the prosecuting attorneys. The document from the finance officer of the Ministry of Home Affairs requested and secured payment of $62,558 to King's Counsel Terence F. Williams for legal services in the case of the Guyana Police Force versus Nazar and Azruddin Mohammed for extradition proceedings in October 2025. The ministry indicated that the Guyana Police Force consulted with the Attorney General, who advised engaging a team of experienced attorneys to represent them in the case. 3 Jamaican attorneys, Terence Williams, Herbert Mackenzie, and Celine Daedrick, were selected due to their expertise in similar matters. The document bore the approval stamp of the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Home Affairs, Andre Alai. Payment will be processed via a wire transfer from the Bank of Guyana to attorney Terence Williams. Following the document's release, Azruddin Mohammed criticized the government for using taxpayer funds to finance what he views as attorneys advocating for U.S. interests. He claimed that taxpayers are covering all legal costs, which may exceed hundreds of millions of Guyana dollars, including flight, transportation, security, and other arrangements for the attorneys. According to the U.S. State Department's Foreign Affairs Manual, the requested country is responsible for the fiscal responsibilities associated with extradition, which includes determining the extraditability of the fugitive. In a recent NCN TV program, Attorney General Nandlal reiterated that the Guyanese government must bear the costs for the attorneys, emphasizing that the decision aims to prevent accusations of political interference. He remarked that such practices are common globally. Nandlal also dismissed the Mohammeds' claims of political persecution, suggesting instead that they are engaged in a disinformation campaign in response to the extradition request. In late October, the U.S. government formally sought the extradition of Nazar and Azruddin Mohammed to address an 11-count indictment in Florida tied to allegations of mail and wire fraud, money laundering related to gold exports, and tax evasion. The Mohammeds have denied all allegations. In support of the extradition request, the prosecuting attorneys have presented relevant documents to the court and indicated that additional documentation will follow. Government strengthens anti-corruption efforts at roundtable event. News source Guyana reports, the government of Guyana is actively enhancing public institutions to combat corruption, according to Minister of Governance Gail Teixeira, who spoke at the opening of an anti-corruption roundtable this morning. Minister Teixeira highlighted that the fight against corruption is a continuous endeavor. Strengthening our public institutions is an ongoing effort, she stated, emphasizing the need to evaluate the effectiveness of structures, qualifications of personnel, and the necessity for reorganization and training within various ministries and statutory bodies. In the public service, the ministry proposes integrating governance and anti-corruption training into the broader public service training program. Teixeira pointed out the critical role of the Integrity Commission in monitoring public officials under the Integrity Commission Act. The minister also noted that technology is being leveraged to enhance transparency and efficiency in government services. The single window system was identified as a key platform intended to streamline service delivery and minimize opportunities for bribery in land applications, which involve multiple agencies. One of the important anti-corruption platforms is the single window platform, which helps reduce the frustration that applicants face when dealing with multiple agencies. Teixeira explained, stressing that this system simplifies the process and lowers corruption risks. However, the minister acknowledged the challenge of corruption in public contracts, which can compromise the quality of infrastructure development. Every corrupt act in contracts siphons off money that should be used for quality buildings and roads, leading to poorer outcomes in infrastructure, she said. The Anti-Corruption Roundtable, themed Partnering to Build Resilient Public and Private Institutions in Guyana's Fight Against Corruption, aimed to review progress on recommendations from the Inter-American Convention Against Corruption, IACAC, and the United Nations Convention Against Corruption, UNCAC. Discussions at the roundtable focused on important areas such as auditing ethics in private enterprises, promoting integrity standards, and utilizing artificial intelligence to combat corruption effectively in both sectors. Captain Jerry Gouveia Jr., president of the Private Sector Commission, PSC, emphasized that combating corruption enhances business competitiveness. If we can establish Guyana as a secure environment for international investments, it not only benefits businesses but also promotes a safer working atmosphere for everyone, he noted. The roundtable event aims to further the government's collaboration with the private sector to strengthen integrity systems, building resilient institutions in the ongoing fight against corruption. President Ali, Gas Monetization Plan Essential Before 2031. President Dr. Irfan Ali has underscored the urgency of implementing Guyana's gas monetization plan, stating it must be operational before the end of his term in 2031. Any option that does not allow this country to monetize gas before 2030 will not have the type of support I would like to give, he asserted during the Berbis Development Summit. Addressing investors from around the globe, President Ali emphasized that the gas development strategy for Berbis should minimize debt financing while maximizing foreign direct investment and private sector involvement. He also highlighted the importance of local, regional, and diaspora participation, aiming to optimize value, resilience, and innovation throughout the initiative. The president expressed a strong commitment to ensuring gas monetization occurs by 2030, stating, "I can't run again, and I'm not leaving this decision for anyone after me." He acknowledged that while he may not be a gas expert, he is keenly informed and has narrowed down several viable options for further exploration. Scenarios for gas development. President Ali outlined 4 potential scenarios for gas development. Maximized value extraction. This involves separating gas fractions to create high-value export products, including a blue ammonia urea methanol complex. This scenario also proposes a gas-powered data center campus that creates new technology-driven jobs, employment and inclusion focus. This option aims to generate maximum employment and local participation by diversifying across various mid-scale industries, such as fertilizer, steel, cement, and agro-processing. Domestic resource transformation. Utilizing low-cost gas energy, this scenario aims to convert raw materials into finished goods, enhancing domestic industries like cement, glass, and fertilizer production. Megascale development. Here, a single gas complex would monetize all gas fractions at one site, anchoring a national petrochemical brand and attracting downstream investors. The president noted that regardless of the scenario prioritized, be it maximum export value, job creation, domestic transformation, or a megaproject, each one builds on the same foundational strategy. Strategic Berbis investments. Ali pointed to strategic investments in Berbis, including a 2-gigawatt data center and multiple gas facilities. He also mentioned the potential for modular gas processing setups to support future industrialization in the region. Emphasizing the potential benefits to northern Brazil, particularly Roraima and Manaus, the president highlighted that Guyana can significantly shorten their transport time to the Atlantic, enhancing competitiveness. The outcomes from the Berbis Development Agenda Summit will inform the upcoming Energy Conference in February 2026. At which further decisions regarding the investment platform will be made. "We cannot waste time," the president declared, citing examples of his expectations for ambitious, actionable ideas from his ministers. With an estimated 17 trillion cubic feet, TCF, of gas resources, the urgency and potential for development remain a focal point of national dialogue. Guyana signs groundbreaking production sharing agreement in oil sector. In a landmark move for its burgeoning oil industry, Guyana has officially signed its first production sharing agreement, PSA, under the new Petroleum Activities Act and updated fiscal regime. The agreement, with a consortium led by TotalEnergies, which includes QatarEnergy and Petronas, secures a $15 million signing bonus for the shallow water block S4. The signing, held at the Pegasus Corporate Suites, represents a key outcome of Guyana's inaugural licensing round launched in 2022. This agreement marks a significant shift in the country's oil and gas sector, implementing stricter fiscal terms, including a 10% corporate tax, enhanced environmental safeguards, and enforceable penalties for noncompliance. Minister of Natural Resources, Vikram Barrett, hailed the agreement as a testament to the government's success in establishing a world-class petroleum governance framework while fostering investor confidence. He emphasized the importance of transparency and accountability in the management of oil revenues. This is the first agreement we are signing under the new fiscal regime. The negotiations have produced a $15 million signing bonus that will be paid directly into the Natural Resource Fund within 50 days, stated Minister Barrett. The S4 block spans approximately 1,788 square kilometers in shallow waters off Guyana's coast and will be operated by TotalEnergies, which was selected as the most responsive bidder during the competitive process. Michael Monroe, director of the Local Content Secretariat, described this agreement as a milestone achievement resulting from rigorous negotiations under the updated legislative framework. He stressed that the new PSA includes provisions for penalties related to work program failures, ensuring that decommissioning liabilities are adequately addressed. The S4 consortium was deemed the most responsive bidder, demonstrating professionalism and collaboration throughout the process, Monroe said. Minister Barrett further noted that the involvement of QatarEnergy and Petronas, along with TotalEnergies, enhances Guyana's reputation as an attractive frontier for oil exploration. He highlighted the growing list of major players in the region, including Exxon, Chevron, and CNOOC. These partnerships are seen as a strong endorsement of Guyana's regulatory systems and commitment to local content legislation. Barrett acknowledged the remarkable increase in the country's petroleum production, which has surged from 80,000 barrels per day in 2020 to an impressive 920,000 barrels currently. In light of global concerns regarding fossil fuel dependency, the minister reiterated Guyana's commitment to responsible resource development alongside its low-carbon development strategy, LCDS 2030. We are proud to say that we are managing our oil and gas sector responsibly, maintaining high environmental standards while expanding opportunities for our people, he said. The S4 agreement stems from the 2022 Guyana licensing round, inviting global energy companies to bid under the modernized Petroleum Activities Act and strengthened local content framework. The consortium is expected to adhere to international best practices in environmental protection and community engagement. The government has assured that all proceeds, including the signing bonus, will be transparently managed through the Natural Resource Fund, reflecting Guyana's dedication to prudent fiscal management and sustainable national development.